This video transcends self-improvement. It applies to every single person on this earth. See, every person has beliefs. They have ways of viewing the world. They think in a particular way. So let's call these views, beliefs, ways of thinking, let's call them programming. Some people program themselves. Other people are programmed by their environment, by their teachers, by their parents, by everyone around them, but themselves. And we know that the universe has a law of opposites, meaning that everything has an opposite. So with every belief you have, there is an opposite belief. With every view one has, there is an opposite view. With every way of thinking, there's an opposite way to think about that same exact situation. And you know how people say, everyone's different, everyone's unique. Yeah, that is true. But when it comes to views, beliefs, like there are not 8 billion different views and beliefs. Probably like 5 to be honest. But anyway, since we're tribal creatures, we tend to associate with people who have the same programming as us. People who think the same way, have the same beliefs. And there's no problem with associating with people with the same beliefs as you. In fact, it's quite healthy. Because back in the day, when you associated with people with the same beliefs with you, you'd live in the same way. You would live according to the same values and you just get along with each other. The problem with this and the point of this video is that we view people with opposite beliefs as our enemy. We think that they are the problem. Republicans think that Democrats are the problem. Religious people think that non-religious people are the problem. They think that they're the enemies. People who are on self-improvement look at those who are just going through life willy-nilly and they're like, how can they do that? These guys are the enemy. They look at them with such disdain. In some cases, rich people look at poor people and they think that they're better than them. They think that they're the enemy. They think that poor people, they look at them with some sort of hatred within them. People who are more knowledgeable on a certain subject tend to have negative attitudes towards people who are less knowledgeable on that same subject. I don't know why we do this. Maybe it's just part of human nature, but we tend to make enemies out of people who have opposite beliefs. It's like we believe that when someone opposes our way of thinking, they're opposing us. It's like they're opposing our whole existence and we have to make them the enemy. And what we as a society need to remember is that the people with opposite beliefs to us, they aren't our enemies. No human being is your enemy. Well, the way I live, my only enemy is a voice in my head that tells me to remain mediocre. That tells me it's okay to stay the way that I am right now. And especially when it comes to views, beliefs, and opinions. In most cases, I'll probably say 99.9% of cases, there is no right or wrong. There is no correct way of viewing things. Things can just be viewed from different directions and no way of viewing things is the best way. They're just different ways of viewing things. But in those cases where there is a right and wrong answer, people who have the right answer, people who have the information, they tend to look at people who don't have the information and therefore behave differently as enemies. They look at them as if they're so stupid, as if they're less than, as if they're not humans. They're just people, they're just bots, they're just NPCs. And you know, in some cases I've seen people start to hate people who have different stances to them. And I think what we as a society need to realize is that 9 times out of 10, the people who don't have the correct answer, they just don't know better. The people who are living a life that lacks purpose, a life that is chasing useless pleasures, 9 times out of 10, they don't know better. They weren't given the information that you have. And if you're being totally honest with yourself, there is a point in time where you were exactly like them, where you were behaving exactly as they are behaving right now. There was a point in time where you were functioning on the wrong information, where you were being aimless with your life, where you were just wasting your time. And now you think it's okay to look at the people who are doing what you used to do with a sense of hate, like you weren't one of them. And at that time that you were like them, that time where you had the wrong answer, do you think it would have been fair for someone to hate you simply because you didn't know what you didn't know? Simply because you didn't have the right answer? Do you honestly think that would have been fair? There's no need to hate the other side. There's no need to hate people who have opinions that are different to yours. Because when I go on social media these days, I just see different sides fighting. I see the religious people fighting the non-religious. I see Republicans fighting Democrats. I see everyone fighting. And it's like, look, I'm not going to change it. By myself, I'm not going to change it. I'm not trying to act like I'm going to change everything by myself. But if we all choose to stop hating people with other opinions, then it'll stop. So there's no need to hate the other side. There's no need to have a negative attitude towards people who think differently. Stop spreading hate to those who think differently. Instead, spread love. People say that money makes the world go round. However, a friend of mine, his name is Fari, he says that love makes the world go round. And every day, I agree with that statement more. So spread love. And even if you disagree with them, remember that at a point, you were them.